Hello and welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. Today's episode of Bourbon Barrel Talk is brought to you by Signature Painting and Coatings. They specialize in residential and small commercial painting. Owner Jeff Ostrader has been serving Louisville and Southern Indiana families for over 35 years. There is no job too small. For your no-cost obligation estimate, please contact Jeff at 502-494-0595. Signature Painting and Coatings. Hire a professional, not a painter. And we're back in the Brock Bourbon Bar, and we are chilling like a villain, not bugging, illin', or stillin'. And we are here with Miss Barbara and Mr. Nick, and we are talking about, we're going to do a quick review of a Bottle Your Own Heaven Hill Select Stock Bourbon. And Barbara, you were on this pick. So you went through the little tour.
It's a tour. It's called You Do Bourbon.
All right.
And what they do is they end up, there's four?
Yeah, usually four.
There's usually four that you taste. And of those four, you can choose one to bottle yourself and put your own label on it, aside from their, they have their specific ones that have to go on for state regulations and all of that fun stuff. But you can write your own name on there, what date you bottled it, and all of that. So it's kind of an interesting situation, and we've now done it twice.
Yes, twice.
Yeah, we've now done it twice, Nick and I have. And it's just a lot of fun. You still hear the history of Heaven Hill and all of that, but both times it's been different selections.
Yes.
There's been a couple that have been the same.
Yes, and then also I think at one point it got hit by the bottle
shortage.
Bottle shortage to where one or two of their certain ones they didn't have the bottles.
They didn't have the bottles, so you couldn't bottle them.
Ah.
You could still taste them, but you couldn't bottle them.
So you do bourbon.
Yep, you do bourbon. How much was that?
Exclusive thing.
How much did it cost, Nick?
It cost, I believe it was $40 for you to get in.
Right.
But then there was another cost for the actual bottle, and the bottle varied by the release.
I love the name because anybody that knows me knows my favorite saying is "You do you."
Yeah.
You do you, or you do you, boo. Like it's just what I say.
And I'm always, to each their own. So
Right.
I mean, it's the same kind of concept.
No, 100%.
But yeah, it's just a unique situation of something that, the juice is already picked and everything. It's just you get to pick the one that you like the most to bottle yourself.
So tell us about this one.
Okay.
Well, me and Nick get nose deep in this bad boy.
All right. So this one is a Heaven Hill Select Stock. It is Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Comes in at 132.3 proof. So it's 66.15% alcohol per volume. This one I bottled on August the 15th, 2022.
And how old is this bad boy?
Give me a minute.
Oh, my bad.
Age. Okay, so this one is
Their numbers.
Rick House Y. Mash bill is 78% corn, 12% malted barley, 10% rye.
So it's their standard Heaven Hill, yep.
Okay. 26 tapered stave barrels of Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey, aged 14 years, were specifically selected for the You Do Bourbon experience. These barrels were designated by our master distiller for tasting in our warehouses of this unique barrel construction.
So I'm getting some light fruit, it's kind of corn forward.
It is corn forward.
But not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's almost like that sweet corn pudding-ish type smell.
Yeah, I've had to go back about 2 or 3 times to do it because I think the first nose, you get that heavy oak, char, almost that charry caramel at the very front.
So I didn't get that one till like second sniff. The first one was like straight alcohol. Like it smelled very heavy, like that 130. But I think Elijah Craig, Heaven Hill, they tend to be a little bit more high on the alcohol content, by the smell set. But that second one, that's when I was like you. I was like, oh, yeah, we'll get a little oak, a little bit of that. And then the more I smell of it, like I said, I'm getting some fruit, getting some other things, some tobacco.
I'm getting like gentle, like almost like apple blossom.
Yeah, a very, very light floral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting the other kind of like slight honey or brown sugar in there.
I get a field out in the middle of the country about early summer. I can't pinpoint exactly what I'm smelling, but
Kind of
if
like
you're
the dandelions, the violets, or something along those lines.
a little bit past then.
Okay.
But it's just like, you're driving through those country roads, early part of
Country
summer.
roads, take me
home.
home. John Denver, you gotta love that song.
Oh,
I know,
well, yeah.
absolutely.
Those are some campfire songs people just start singing.
Yes.
Sorry, when I hear Country Road, it's the first thing that pops in my head. I don't know why.
It's okay. It's okay. But, during those early parts of summer where it's not quite spring still, but it's not really summer. And it's a unique smell that you have. There's that floral, the grains, all of that kind of stuff all together. And that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
The legs are long.
I was about to say, the legs are very long. It's
They're
got some oiliness to it. It's got a
Beautiful.
really good mouthfeel. I took my first pull on it.
Okay.
So it's got great mouthfeel. Doesn't drink anywhere near that 130 proof. It's got a little bit of a rich tobacco.
No, you can tell a little bit of rice spice in there.
Yep.
Because I can tell it around the tongue. But you're right. It felt like a warm hit on that mid palate, and then it just dies. The heat just goes away, and then you're kind of left with a small linger there right at the end I get a little bit of oak linger towards the back.
Yeah.
I got something and I'm still trying to figure it out. But it hit me hard.
Right in the mid palate.
No, right on the very, very top.
Right on the
I was
tip.
like, yeah. I was like,
So hit it with the second pull and see if that drops it off. Because I think the second pull will, because the initially, yes, there was a lot going on in the front palate, and now it's kind of all moved to the back on the second pull.
I got
some
all
of that rich
mid and
oak.
back.
Yeah, rich oak. It's got some of that caramel. Got a little bit of like some.
it's a
other
fruit I'm
dark
getting.
sweetness.
It's a fruit I'm getting.
Yeah, but it's not like real light. It's like a
No.
darker fruit. It's almost like
Yeah.
a plum or something like that. But it's not a plum.
Almost like a dark chocolate covered cherry.
I could see that because there's definitely some chocolate undertones
Yeah.
in there. I don't know that it's real super forward, but I see where you're coming from.
I'm thinking like the tart cherries, not the sweet cherries.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
I think it's the dark chocolate that I'm getting. And I love dark chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm strange. We know.
Man, I'm gonna tell you though, that finish it's long.
Oh yeah. I would almost say that I'm getting like a hint of almost like cider somewhere in there.
Really?
Towards the back. I'm trying. It might be just kind of like that oakiness in there, but it's like mixing with that kind of a little bit of rye. So it's kind of playing with
So
my
low
taste
rye
buds.
though,
It's
12%.
like the one. I mean, it's right there at the very, very back of your throat, right before it goes down. I see where you're going.
Yeah, it's like right there.
To me, it's more baking spicious though.
It very well could be. I mean, as I said, I'm just kind of going through it right now. But the interesting thing of this, for being 130 proof,
No,
I am not getting a Kentucky hug. I'm not getting anything collarbone or anything.
No,
I mean, it
not
is
at all.
going easy.
So it's right in the throat.
Yes.
yeah,
It's right in the throat.
Right
but you're
there.
right. Yeah, like it doesn't really. But it does give you that nice little warm, almost like that Kentucky hug. But it doesn't. But it's not
Yeah.
burning. It's not
No.
like. It's just like the warm and fuzzies.
Yeah.
Yes.
As I said, if typical people you can get that Kentucky egg, this is not it.
Right.
This
No.
is just it's there was like a growing warmth.
Yeah.
After about 2 or 3 pulls.
Yep.
But it's not anywhere near like burn or slide or anything like
no,
that.
no. It's like a sideward hug where you're just kind of barely touching.
You lean in.
Yeah, you're leaning in and you're going, okay, I kind of like you.
I'm still trying to get that baking spice, man. Is it clove? There's a baking spice all the very back of the mid, all the way into the finish,
I see where you're coming. It's not clove, I can tell you that.
and it's not cardamom,
No,
but it's not cinnamon. Like it's not. But it's one of those baking spices.
it's one of the more obscure baking spices.
I don't want to say it. No, I was going to say nutmeg, but it's like going. It's
not
quite,
really
It's
nutmeg.
not as powerful.
Yeah, I'm not getting that pie like that
Right.
type of thing.
No.
I'm getting man, it is so unique. It's weird.
You see why I bottled this baby?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely hitting in in a few different spots than especially than what I get off your typical Heaven Hill.
Yeah.
It does have that very, very reminiscent of your standard Heaven Hill right on the front to
Yeah.
mid palate. Mm-hmm. But that back to that finish, man. I mean, it's just it's hitting everywhere. I mean, it's got some nice, really, really nice floral notes, man.
And you really wouldn't get that much floral is, or you would expect to, from something from Heaven Hill,
Bingo.
and two, being 14 years old.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I would maybe expect it maybe from a Four Roses. That's, you're hitting your, that Four Roses 18 or 20, but not from this.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with what you're saying. Like I said, it's definitely a unique pour. Man, I can't believe I can't put a finger on it.
No, I can't either.
Like I'm gonna go up
Yeah,
to the
give
go up to
me
the Brock's spice rack and just start.
That's what I'm
Don't tempt me.
I'm actually starting to go through it right now, and one thing that did kind of hit me, but it's not quite there. I thought it was kind of like almost like not a black pepper, but the white pepper.
I
Because
mean,
there's a little bit of spice
there's a
just
little
sitting
spice,
Yeah.
but
It's not as strong as a white pepper or even a black pepper.
Yeah.
there. Well, that's what I said. I know it's
a
not black
different.
pepper.
Yeah. Well, God no.
That's-
Cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg. It could be just allspice
That's what I'm thinking.
because allspice kind of hits all in those areas, but none of them are like super strong.
heavy.
Yeah.
Right. They're a really good combination of all of them together. And I'm thinking you might be right on that.
I don't know. That is so crazy. It's kind of befuddling. Now I will tell you, like this is a solid pour though. I mean, it's really good. It's got a really, really great mouthfeel. It's got a great hug. I mean, that finish is just really, really nice.
Now the downside about this is that it's already gone. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, by the time of the airing, it's been gone for a couple months. So
Easily.
but they'll,
Well, dang it! Why are we? No, I'm just kidding.
But-
well, at the same time, they bring out some really, really good stuff for this You Do bourbon.
Right.
And it's a very unique experience. You literally, to bottle the bourbon, you actually blow air into it. You blow water and then you blow air, you dry it out. And I mean, you go through the entire bottling process,
Right.
corking it, labeling it, putting the stickers on, all of that.
Right.
And it's a unique experience for somebody who wants to understand how that process goes through. And that's the cool thing is you do have that opportunity.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
we didn't do it.
I
if you wanna
know,
go-
I know.
You go grab one if you want to, or
I'm dropping a drop or two of water in this. I don't want to, but I know this is Barbara, and then when I sit back and look, man, that was a heavy drop.
I know.
That's going to really drastically change that one, I think.
So if anybody's never done the You Do You bourbon before, usually you have four choices. Your typical four choices is you have Elijah Craig Barrel
Wow.
Proof, you have Bernheim,
Yep.
you have Larceny,
Yep.
and then that fourth one is that wild card. Is that they'll
Yeah.
try to usually get something more that typically rotates out. They might not have it all the time, but it is
Tobacco.
Yeah, tobacco, caramel.
the water.
Yeah.
The water drastically changes the nose. Drastically.
God, I forgot
Turns out
that.
much sweeter.
Well, and during the You Do bourbon, they make you put the water in. They make you do that scientific type thing, and they explain the process and why you do it.
So the
A little bit more of the rye starting to come out on the nose, too.
yeah, definitely got the rye on that rye pop. So yeah, that's coming out.
Butterscotch.
I don't know, man. The rye is popping so much now. I'm trying to pick up that sweetness.
I get it not right on the very tip, but not even the mid palate. It's like in between the tip and the mid. And I mean, it hit me hard.
That's what she said.
You beat me to it.
Gee, good God.
In between the tip and the mid.
I understand it's an anniversary, but come on, people.
I'm not getting it, Barbara. I'm trying. That's my second pull of it since the water. It's just so much rye now. The rye
getting-
is coming so forward on this.
Rye, spiced wood,
Yep.
or seasoned wood, whatever you want
See,
to.
I
Yeah.
get all of that on the very back palate.
No, it's
I've
it's
just got that
basically
sweet right there.
The back of the front all the way through the mid. Like it's just so. I'm not getting butterscotch.
I mean, it's like heavy.
I'm about to say if it is, it's subtle.
almost like a butterscotch toffee type thing.
I'm wondering if that's because of the amount of water you put in there.
Well, I ended up putting a little bit more of it in as well to kind of help cut it. But here, you taste mine. You tell me.
Give me a second. That rye hits the nose hard.
All I got was tobacco.
So I get tobacco, I get rye. The floral comes through a little bit more, but the mid palate is all like more
hers-
spice, more rye.
Hers is muted. I'm not quite getting full on butterscotch, but I am.
You
getting
understand where I'm getting.
It's not as rye hitting for hers. So I don't know what type of mixture she put in, but it's not hitting, the rye's not hitting as hard on that mid palate as mine is.
No, you're right. Huh. I don't get butterscotch though. Still,
No, I get to like a subtle sweetness, almost like a I'd say like a watered down honey.
yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of something lighter than honey, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard.
It's almost like they had just a splash of simple in it.
Yes, there you go. That's actually not bad. Not a bad analogy.
Well, going back to my normal, to each their own. Everybody tastes different.
Right. No, we're not saying you're wrong. We're just saying we don't get it.
You can never be wrong in bourbon.
That's right.
Never be wrong in bourbon.
You can put too much water in it and screw it up.
I didn't screw it up. I really like it.
Oh no, but it makes it different.
I mean, you could be wrong. We couldn't be wrong.
Whatever. Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean crap.
Listen, I've said for years, I think women have much better palates than men.
Yeah, I'm not saying
You're probably right. We're probably wrong. That being said, I'm going to tell
just
you
not
you're
getting
wrong
it.
and we're right.
At least I'm not getting it.
I'm not getting it, but
And that's a great thing about, this kind of group is, we all understand each other.
don't be putting me in your all's crazy category of, oh, we understand each other bullshit.
Well, at this point, Scott, you've been in it
I know. Ankle deep at least.
easily.
Say it's getting deeper.
But now that it's empty, oh, you haven't gotten empty yet.
All right, give me a second.
Well, this is kind of going. Interesting thing while we're on the pick. So this is totally random. Usually with this, you have to get this about a month out or so,
Yeah.
or otherwise it fills up.
Right.
So it's hard to get to. So we end up randomly going out there. While we're out there, there's 20 other people because it's limited. It's very limited time engagement. So we're out there. We're enjoying it. We're sitting in the front row. Barbara and I are like middle right. So we're right in front of everything. And then I do look around, and you like to look around with other people. I thought there was a couple of people I possibly had seen before,
Yeah,
but
he's
I
like,
wasn't.
gosh, they look familiar.
But I wasn't thinking much of it at the time.
Nope.
And so when started doing the bottling, did the bottling, went through towards the end, and then after we were already kind of done, they have this little section area where they have a sensory area to where you can kind of view and test your nose against different
The grains and different things.
and they like let you kind of guess at what it is.
So
Right.
it's like a Q-tip with that flavor in there. And
Gotcha.
You smell it,
And so
and it's blind, so you can't see anything until you go and start
I'm
guessing.
blind anyway. It don't matter.
So am I.
And so we end up going upstairs to
the bar.
And then a couple of the guys end up following us upstairs, and they look at me and says, "Hey, you're Nick Brock, right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm Levi." I said, yes. And it is my brother's friend, a co-worker at the fire department.
From
There
Evansville.
you go.
And they're there with 3 or 4 other guys.
Right.
And apparently my brother was supposed to be on the pick as well.
That's funny.
And, it
He
being the
forgot
same
about
day,
it.
the same time, and we're just all having a blast. And I said, all right, guys, come around here. Take a selfie of all of us. And then what I do is send it to my brother, and I say, literally, hey, where the bleep are you at?
There you go. I like it.
But yeah, it was very interesting because all of a sudden we're like, wait, what do you mean Adam was supposed to be here? That little brat.
Yeah.
I mean, we love him, but
But yeah, the right day, the right time, and only being 20 available spots.
Yeah.
And us hitting it the same as theirs. It was amazing. We had a good time.
we would have stayed longer and enjoyed more conversation with them. That we had to go home and get the kids.
So, Barbie, you polished yours off already.
Yeah, but I can put more in.
No, nose dip.
Okay.
Nose it. Tobacco, caramel, a little bit of like,
Honeysuckle.
yeah.
That's sweet.
There's it's kind of,
Yeah.
I would say it's almost like a sweet tobacco.
Yeah. It's that floral tobacco.
Yeah.
That early aged
Yeah.
tobacco.
And then just
It's
that
just
that,
coming out.
and it's rich caramel.
Yeah.
It's really
Rich. Yeah.
deep and it's rich.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love this.
I know.
So,
Me too. That's why I bottled it.
So, I think pretty solid pour overall.
Great experience. If you ever get the opportunity to do it, do it.
So, we're not drinking the other one, but I'm going to put you on the spot because I know you've had them both and I know you've drank them both. This is the Bernheim.
She can't remember. I'll put money on it right now. It's been that long.
Really? You really can't remember? I remember the Bernheim like it was yesterday.
No, go get the Bernheim.
Oh, God.
All right. Do I need glasses too? Are we going to go do this deep? All right.
We got a couple of glasses over here. Y'all share one, and I'll take one. But
I can deal with that. But I do, I can't remember exactly what I got off of it during the You Do Bourbon for this Heaven Hill Select Stock, but I remembered that it was a solid pour, and I liked it both with water and without.
yeah.
I didn't have a preference either or, which is kind of unique because a lot of times you do have a preference. But I do remember that this was a very, very solid pour. Again, I bottled this, in August of 2022. So it's been a little bit of time. When did I bottle that baby?
August 3rd, 21.
August 3rd, 21 is when I bottled this one. This is the Bernheim.
Yeah, I'm going off of memory
Okay.
because I remember drinking this when you all first got this one home.
Well,
It
we
looks
haven't
like-
opened this one.
Oh, wait a minute now.
No, we haven't ever
Not-
opened this one.
This one you all never opened?
Just open it right now.
Literally, he just opened it.
I thought that you... what was the other Bernheim then?
I don't know.
No, we had a regular Bernheim.
Oh,
like the
okay.
small batch.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this one is Bernheim Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey,
Gotcha.
aged 7 years, barrel proof. It actually comes in at 128% or 128 proof. Bottled it on August the 3rd, 2021. 64% alcohol. I did bottle this baby and had a lot of fun doing it because we always have fun doing these things.
Now, please note, this is a wheat whiskey.
It is a wheat whiskey.
So it is not a bourbon.
Nope.
Yeah, this thing is sweet. Sweet.
I get that. I get sweet corn just like off the nose, and this is my first or
Corn
second time.
pudding.
See, I'm not getting corn at all. Like, it's all sweet. Like, it's wheat. It's like caramel. It's got a little bit of butterscotch.
I'm getting more. I'm attributing it to corn, but I'm getting a grain sweetness. I'd say that.
Okay.
Which is probably wheat.
And maybe that's where I'm getting
Yeah.
like a really sweet corn pudding.
Yeah, that's a
like
possibility,
a
I
really sweet.
Yeah.
Not a typical.
Just don't equate it to corn.
Okay.
I don't. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't get it. I'm not equating.
I think we've been over this already.
Like a really, really sweet cracker.
That's what I was about to say. It was actually going to be like a toasted wheat bread
Yeah.
of sort.
Yeah.
That's where Emily's going.
Like
with.
a really, really sweet, like a wheat bread with some honey. There's some nice caramel / butterscotch. I mean, this one's really good. Really good.
Very viscous.
yeah.
The legs are.
They're
They're coming down.
Oh, there they are. There they are.
Yeah, they're coming down faster than the select stock, but still.
They ain't
Still looks
coming
good.
very quick.
That's what she said.
Damn, she just walks into them.
She does. She hates me for it.
I have walked into them for 23 years
Yeah.
now.
I meant to get a new picture now.
That's all
fine.
right. We can oblige.
All right.
Absolutely.
Man, this one's really good.
Oh my gosh, that the pull on that. Oh, so good.
All right.
Now this I get more of the wheat bread and the honey, even more so than the nose.
Oh, man.
Okay. Did you put water in it yet?
Even with a drop
yet.
of water, dude, it's like, reminds me of that super, super sweet, like brownberry, like wheat bread.
Oh, I haven't had that for like forever.
Like that whole grain, like it's got all those.
Because it's that grain that you get whenever your initial cut and
Yeah.
put it open.
Honey
yes.
wheat from Great Harvest Company, bread company,
Oh, yeah. I could,
way back in the.
I could get where you're coming from on that. No, I thought I was remembering, I guess, we're just one of the original
regular
Bernheims that y'all
Bernheims.
had here.
Yeah, we had.
I was going to
small
try to
batch
get
of
you to compare those two, but wow. Now we're trying to run these two together.
Hey, at least these are more comparable.
Yeah, no, 100%. I remember the other Bernheim being really good, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But
Well, and both of these were the You Do Bourbon, just different years.
And they still offer the Bernheim.
Yeah, and they still offer the Bernheim.
Yeah, Bernheim is a staple of it, and it's still, I think, 7 years.
Yeah,
Granted,
it's 7 years.
It's half of what that select stock was, but still.
well, it's
very
half
good.
the age.
Yeah. He's got a point there.
Man, I tell you what. All right, I'm going to pick. I'm going to go first, and I'll let y'all go second. And / third.
He's still
It's
debating.
really, really hard.
I can
I'm
tell.
going to go Heaven Hill 1st and then the Bernheim, but man, if I was going strictly off the nose, the Bernheim would crush that Heaven Hill.
Oh, I agree with you.
Agreed. That nose on that
That's
Bernheim
the only
is,
reason I'm struggling so hard to pick the Bernheim over the other, because the Bernheim's nose is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's a very unique, complex, entertaining one.
I've always been a fan of like double oak, so
Yeah.
that's what drew me to the Heaven Hill, because even though it's not double oaked, it has that age,
Yeah.
but it has that double oak smell,
Yep.
from the nosing of it, and I enjoy that.
All right. So which one you picking?
I'm still going Heaven Hill select
Hill.
stock, but it's very slight because I think the Bernheim is extremely good. Yeah, but
Even with the water, it's delicious. Matter of fact, I'm not too sure that the Bernheim isn't better with just a drop.
I would bet it would.
So for me, it is a complete toss up. I am the one who chose both of these. I am the one who bottled both of these. So there was something in both of them that really, really drew me in. I think for me, in terms of the growth in understanding bourbons and tasting different whiskeys, bourbons, ryes, all of that, really, I think played together, because these are done. I bottled these in almost exactly a year apart, August 3rd, 2021 to August 15th, 2022. And I think that's important to understand, that everybody has a growth in this industry and in your tasting of everything. To understand, the Bernheim is a little bit more of a lighter flavor, one that you can kind of understand when you're a little bit more immature in the bourbon select.
Yeah, I can see that.
Whereas this Heaven Hill select stock has so many things just rolling around, and it's a complexity of absolutely crazy.
Much more
proportions.
robust pour.
Yeah, it's a very, very robust. So for me, I think really both of these would 100% be my pours. I think really it would just depend on whether or not I want a heavy, robust flavor or a lighter flavor. It's so hard for me to pick one over the other, because I think it depends on where I'm at in terms of what my feelings are and what I need in a bourbon
Gotcha.
or whiskey.
And I'll say both of them don't drink to proof.
Oh, God, no.
No, they don't.
No.
I'd say the Bernheim drinks closer to proof than the Heaven Hill Select Stock.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I can get you there.
So, all right. So it sounds like we are 2 to a half, because Barbara sort of didn't vote on the Heaven Hill Select Stock on these.
It's like she's trying to choose between children. It's like, which is your favorite?
Come on, you can pick a favorite kid. Pick one. Come on.
Not a chance.
Why, you're afraid they'll listen to it, 10 years from now?
Oh, they can listen all day long. I don't have a favorite. I love them both the same, and I hate them both the same way.
Wow. It's funny. One of my favorite people, a buddy of mine, he said that children are your greatest joy in the world, but they're also sometimes your biggest disappointment.
Absolutely. Noah has mama's stubborn streak to a T. So he and I butt heads like nobody's business. Kenny is way more my theatrical, kind of softer, thought processes, those kind of things. So they really are a complete encasement of myself.
Right.
One
got all the good traits, the other one got all the not so.
Very, very plausible. That being said, Noah can be incredibly sweet, and Kenny can be a bit of a brat.
Right.
But we're also getting into those teenage years with Kenneth, so it's kind of an interesting, pull between the two of them.
Right.
But there's no question they're mine.
All right. I'm going to let you slide today.
Thank you.
Anyway, so that's our review of Heaven Hill Select Stock Bernheim Bottle Your Own from the Heaven Hill Distillery. If you want to find Bourbon Barrel Talk, you can find us on the Facebook, the Instagram, or the Twitter. You can also download our episodes via Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, whoever your favorite medium is. Make sure you email any questions, bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com. This is Scott, Nick, and Barbara Baz hanging out. Take it.
Peace out.
Peace.
Prost.